Hi everyone, Zoe Cavotta here. I'm a Regents chemistry teacher up in Glens Falls, New York. So for my project in this STEM class, we're going to be doing this in my chemical bonding unit. I'm going to be having my students compile a bunch of resources to create a group presentation. At the very end of the unit, they can decide if they want to do a poster, if they want to make like an infographic poster, if they want to make a presentation with a video advertisement in it. They kind of have the freedom to do what they want with it as long as there are, the required information in their final presentation. So I would like to use Adobe Spark with this. I've never used this in a class before. With my students or just myself. I did recently find out my school district has a subscription to Adobe Spark, so I can get it for free. So that's how I was able to get into it without having to pay, and I can already start some projects. I can share it with my students. They will also have access to this using their school email. So that was huge because this was a resource I wanted to look into for this semester in this class specifically, and I didn't even have to go through the lengths of trying to get it approved by my school. It also follows the Ed 2 data laws that we have to follow now in New York State with public education. So it's also a great hoop that I did not have to jump through to get to be able to, give this to my students and have them working with it. So I've never used it before. It's really great. There are templates that you can choose from. So I started a project, but there's like ones already creating for the classroom. If I want to add one and I can create a web page, a flyer, a video. Again, you can start from scratch. So I started a project just as an example for this specific unit. If I were, to be a student and wanting to create my poster, I started with a template, and then I just would click in here and I would edit the text if I wanted to. I could delete it, I could reformat it, I could use different font, I could use different sizes, different colors, I could upload images, I could have different backgrounds, different colorings. There's lots of icons that you can add. I looked up science and I got this icon over here. I got these boxes here that are behind my images as icons. And then when you're done, you can, if I move myself over here, you can share it with someone if you want to invite them to your post. You can copy the link, so I can give this link to my students. I can download it, which I did as a PDF that I'll show you. I can share it as well. I can send it to my Google Drive, which is huge because my school is a Google Suite school. That would easily make it easy for me to share with my students and my students to share with me. So then I downloaded it as a PDF. And so this was really cool that I could do this. I can make posters just for my classes. This would be awesome if I wanted to create an article for them. I could do that and create it as a PDF. And now I have my classes using Cami, and they could download this onto Cami and they could mark it all up if they wanted to. When my students create this and they create it as a PDF, again, I could go onto Cami and I could mark it up with comments and feedback for them. So that I thought was really cool. This one's, very bland. You can add in videos, again, tons of colors, text, fonts, whatever. So I started with a template. I do still need to do some research on just starting from scratch because I'm sure some of my very artistic and creative students are going to want to do that. So I want to get myself familiar with that side of it as well. But there's tons of templates to work from. Again, it suits every single project you could possibly imagine. So then for some research that I did with how I could go about using this in other parts of my class, there's a whole sorts of resources for teachers to use and how they can use Adobe Spark in education. And from this resource, I found this article about some ways I could use this starting off the school year, which I honestly wish I had looked further into at the beginning of our school year. I thought these were just some really awesome ideas. I could have my students create a poster about them, or they could create a video that they could share using Adobe Spark. I could, have this could be like my question board for my phenomenon at the beginning of a unit. I could post the video of whatever phenomenon I'm doing, or my demonstration, or just an image, like there's the image of the shark. I could have them create a goal setting post, which I thought was really awesome, especially in a chemistry class that's really hard, and kids are coming into chemistry with a lot of anxiety and worry about how hard the class can be. So having them make a goal setting post to then go back to at the end of the year, I think would be really cool. I also loved this wonder wall idea. I think would be really fun to use for every unit after we do the phenomenon, and having kids come up with ideas about things that they're thinking about going into the unit. So I thought this was a really great resource and gave me a lot of good ideas for how I can use Adobe Spark outside of this chemistry of our foods project in the STEM course. So that's just a little bit about Adobe Spark. I'm still working to become more familiar with it before I present this to my students, but it seems like a really easy to use, user-friendly resource that I look forward to learning a little bit more about as this course goes on.